I would like to take a moment to talk about something real quick, right? Why do I like and will always like Goku more than Vegeta? Now, don't get me wrong, in Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta has a lot of great character development. To counter argue that, Goku also has a lot of great character development in Dragon Ball, right? So, here's why I like Goku and will always like Goku more than Vegeta. Nothing's wrong with, by the way, with having a preference. Ugh. Nothing is wrong with having a preference. But it speaks to their understanding and their upbringing. Vegeta, maybe because he was born strong, maybe because of his Saiyan culture and history, he is a soldier. Let's start with that, right? He is raised in a militant culture. That's the first and foremost. Not only that, he was born to be the leader of the culture. And not leaders and political leaders and lead by example. You're supposed to be the strongest. You're supposed to be the best. And being the strongest and being the best means no one can tell you what to do. Right? So the reason Goku was always seemingly ahead of Vegeta when they became allies is because Goku always had guidance. What do I mean? Goku wasn't born the creme de la creme, right? Goku was born a weak Saiyan and sent to Earth a weak planet. But here's the one thing Goku had, right? And it's a benefit of being a martial artist, right? Goku's a martial artist. Goku always had guidance. Goku always had someone to put him on the right path. Simply put, Goku never had to learn from his own mistakes because he was constantly learning from others before he could make majority of those mistakes. You see, everyone will see Vegeta as like Vegeta's always taking an L. Vegeta's always getting mollywopped. Vegeta's always getting knocked down. But that's because Vegeta has to experience a lot of these challenges before he can grow from it. Goku doesn't have to experience those challenges to grow from it because he already had masters to put him in those similar situations, in those similar challenges. So he can mentally be ready and able to go from it, right? It's the difference of, you ever had your parents tell you, learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make it? That's basically the difference between Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta never had a master until Dragon Ball Super. And if y'all notice this, right? They weren't really even in terms of power until they both had the same master, Whis. Right? Dragon Ball Super, yeah, Goku had the edge in certain things. I get it. But at the end of the day, they were still pretty much even in terms of power. Where Goku outclassed Vegeta most of the time is fighting ability. Goku's a martial artist. Vegeta's a soldier. That's why it's so much easier for Goku to be able to get Ultra Instinct. He dedicated his life to it. Goku was in his late 40s, early 50s by the time he masters Ultra Instinct. That's over, and he's been learning martial arts since he was a baby. So he has over 40 years of mental and physical training on Ultra Instinct, right? That's what I love about the manga. The manga explained that. He's been learning the application of Ultra Instinct since he got a master, right? You got to move without feeling. You got to do all this. You got to do all that. All of that was in Dragon Ball. Vegeta, on the other hand, he's a militant. He is not used to these martial arts sayings, these martial arts thoughts. That's why he has to go a different route with the way he fights, the way he trains, right? He has a fighting style, but it's a fighting style that he learned from being in the military. It's not being able to adapt to certain situations like a martial artist can. So that's a big difference and a big philosophy. And I believe one of the main reasons why Goku tends to be ahead, right? And one thing, again, I'm not saying that it's because he's in the military he's behind, right? Because being in the military doesn't mean you don't have a strong fighting style. It's because he never had a master. By the time Vegeta was 8 years old, he was on the top of the the pecking order of Saiyans. Right, his power level was over 10,000 at 10 years old. Bardock was at 10,000 as a fully grown adult. So Vegeta, he wasn't taking crap from nobody, right? He understood he couldn't beat Frieza and a certain other people, but other than that, like, you have to understand the average power level in Frieza's army was 1,000, and Vegeta's power level at the time was at like 15 to 18,000, which is rare. So, not to rant on, but this is why I will always like Goku more than Vegeta, because it Goku is the result of being guided, right? Whether it's a parental figure, whether it's a leader, right? He has no problem sitting down and learning the lessons of others so he can apply that to himself. While Vegeta, in order to grow, he has to fail. And that's why he fails more times. It doesn't mean he doesn't grow, because he does grow, he does get better, but he has to fail firsthand in order to learn a lot of the lessons Goku learned from other people. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comment, follow, like, all of that stuff, and let's have a conversation.